I had to get to Ryogoku, site of the famous Koguki-kan or Sumo Palace for Stardom's dream queendom. One problem: I didn't have a ticket. It had sold out sometime around my arrival in Japan. So I only had one thing to do. Would I get in? Hi, this is Junk Shop Dog, and this is my Japanese wrestling travel experience. Let's be clear, I can't recall every date, match and title change that ever occurred in Japan. I speak very little Japanese and I'm no food expert. But what I can do is show you how to have the time of your life centering a holiday around pro res in Japan. This isn't the Bible, but if any tip offered is useful, well then it was worth it for both of us. So I'll give you some hints on which promotions might suit you and how to best enjoy each venue. So hit the gong and let's enjoy Japan. Before we find out my Stardom fate, let's track the 10 tasks I'd set myself. We're less than a day and a half in and 3 ticked off. Not a bad effort. Lesson from the Stardom snafu: arrange tickets before you land if possible. I don't have a proxy service to recommend, but the premium may be worth the peace of mind. Otherwise, you may be left with no choice but to do what I did. After a lot of funny looks and judgmental sneers, mainly from foreigners, a kindly Japanese family suggested I head back to the station where there was more foot traffic. And jackpot! My new mate Gary from the UK had a spare, and after getting to know him, we sat down on the second level. The second level is perhaps the best place to sit at Ryogoku Kokugi-kan. If you buy ground level, you may be subject to sitting cross-legged. As the most popular women's or Joshi Pro-Res promotion, Stardom doesn't disappoint. It's got the presentation, flash, costumes, and most importantly, match quality of any promotion in the world. When talent like Starlight Kid, Azumi and Shuri are in the opening match, you know you're in for a top-notch card. A delayed entry battle royal offered some variety in terms of style. And some foreign wrestlers brought some power. But the true highlights were some outstanding singles matches at the top of the card. As well as Stardom's top belts being defended. I must admit, I wasn't up to date with Stardom coming in, but it's been impossible to ignore the hype around Saya Kamitani. I can safely say the hype is more than warranted. Her main event with Saori Ano was brutal, athletic and captivating, befitting a show of this size. If your interest mainly lies in women's pro wrestling, this is the top of the tree in Japan. It's day 3. Based on a Twitter post translated from Japanese, I decided to trek on a whim to Saitama, about an hour by train out of Tokyo, and had company. There's a turd, and there's a turd! Google Maps sent us to a produce market. Even the locals were scratching their heads at what we thought we were looking for. But after following some noise from the inner bowels of the market,
Yoisho! 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 Yoisho!
he's pounding rice into mochi, a ceremony common over New Year in Japan. Yosho! 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 As you can see on his face while Mikey is pounding, Fujinami is looking for a real man to help. In the absence of one, I tried my hand. He managed to find a more suitable candidate before the mochi was ready. We pounded mochi with Fujinami, hell of an experience, but the big test is to see what it actually tastes like. It's got red bean paste on it. It's actually really good. Give it a rev. It was still morning, so we took advantage of our location by stopping at a book-off super bazaar in Saitama. Hard-off and book-off are second-hand stores, like a big op shop, but with less Engelbert Humperdinck records. The bigger the store, the bigger the range, so definitely worth a look. There was something for everyone, including my video game enthusiast son Reggie. There was still time to tick more off the list, so we returned to Tokyo and on to Mint Collectibles. The staff here are outstanding, as their range has outgrown the small shop size, so ask and you're a huge chance of finding what you might want. Thankfully, I was able to, for both the list and a small personal collection. As I worked my way to tonight's wrestling venue, I also happened upon one of the great treasures of Tokyo, Disc Union. They don't allow filming, but I walked away with an armful of CDs at bargain prices. Back to Shinjuku Face for Gleat. Next tip for Shinjuku Face, don't bother stocking up at the 7-Eleven downstairs. Outside food is banned. I caught up with another of my companions during this trip, a gentleman of ill repute that cannot be identified, plus a gentleman that can be shown, famous superfan Kaz, just in time for Gleat's wrestler introductions. Gleat offers a card of variety with both men's and women's matches, as well as different match styles. I feel Gleat's strength is its revival of the UWF rules, points docked for knockdowns and rope breaks among others for some of its matches. Seeing this displayed by Katsuhiko Nakajima was a real highlight. It's a completely different style of wrestling to a lot of modern pro wrestling. A combination of stiff strikes, well-worked holds, and each move built up to, with the points thrown in for more drama. Also offering a different style was the G-Rush match between Kotaro Suzuki and Minoru Tanaka, with the match decided by 1 count after the initial time limit was met. Gleat seems to be bringing in one big-name American per show, and this time it was TJP, which the crowd remembered fondly from his time in New Japan. He had a great match, but fell short against the G-Rex champion El Lindemann. To sum up, Gleat probably doesn't get the credit it deserves for bringing some variety to its cards, but it inspired me to look at more old UWF. You can check out Gleat's shows for free on YouTube. We've found our stride and there's no time to rest, so it's a show double on day 4, but starting with a trip to must-visit spot Haoming in Shibuya. This boutique offers the kind of cool wrestling clothing you aren't afraid to wear out in public. We also stopped by the Shibuya branch of Mandarake that had a highly impressive lot of sofubi. So impressive, we spent too long gawking and had to leg it to get to Yoyogi National Gymnasium number 2. It looked like Gymnasium number 1 had a pop concert on for All Japan Pro Wrestling. Tip for this venue, there's very little on offer in terms of food or drink. Be sure to bring your own or go hungry. Hearing that tune gets me every time. All Japan has lost much of its profile over the last quarter of a century, and based on my past experiences at their shows, my expectations were steady. But I needn't have worried. From a delayed entry battle royal with a familiar face, to his subsequent defeat by All Japan Women's Pro Wrestling legends, the mood was high. Reasonably fresh stable Havoc featuring Odyssey Jones and Zion, ex-NXT and NRL, left a taste for a big tag title match in the new year, with some real-life monsters facing off. And their stablemate, former Noah superstar Go Shiozaki, had a brutal affair with Jun Saito. With the hype leading into the main event, the crowd was pumped and they were rewarded. All Japan's ace Kento Miyahara just keeps getting better and better, and his dashing young opponent Yuma Anzai looks like he could ably replace him one day down the track. The match was sensational, a captivating contest that built to a frantic finish. It was a credit to the name of All Japan Pro Wrestling, and it gave me great hope for the future. I definitely recommend an All Japan show. They offer strong match quality and some stars that should be getting more exposure worldwide. I'd say it's as close to an old school wrestling experience as is possible these days. For something a little less traditional, it was a mad dash to Korakuen Hall. As it was time to come out and play for Big Japan Pro Wrestling. Despite leaving upon the final gong at Yoyogi, we arrived an hour into the show. The King of Deathmatch World Grand Prix, a tag tournament. Despite this little autograph hunter, I wouldn't say Big Japan is the most accessible entry into Japanese pro wrestling. The action can spread into the crowd, and the weapons, as well as the blood, tend to fly in all directions. So grab a ticket as far from the ring as possible if that's a bother, and sometimes that's not even enough. There was a few non-death matches on the card, and it's always great to see Daichi Hashimoto, son of the late New Japan legend Shinya, and also standing out was Polish rookie Jacob Crane. But as far as deathmatch wrestlers go, Jun Kasai is the best of the best, and he went all out in a fluorescent light tubes and weapons dream match with Hideyoshi Kamitani. The other highlight was seeing Rina Yamashita. Intergender wrestling can be a controversial topic, but Yamashita is as tough as nails and more than holds her own, enduring 3 death matches in the night to a tournament win. As we left, we visited Kasai bearing gifts, and he welcomed some more Junk Shop Dog figures into his collection. Despite the temptation for a big New Year's Eve celebration, Noah's Budokan show awaited the following afternoon, with a big mystery wrestler appearing. Not to mention another wrestler holding an impromptu YouTube show before the gates opened. Who would they be?